Hello, folks. I'm out here in Eastern Oregon visiting a relative of mine, and I thought I'd take an early morning stroll around the property. We've been getting a little snow over the last few days, and thought you might appreciate some video of it while I discuss a few things. Now, I'm not that far off from the state of Idaho, and if you've been following the news recently, you'll probably know what I'm about to discuss next. Ever so often, you hear about a case so baffling, it'll make your head spin. Now here's a case that's as frustrating as it is fascinating, due to the bizarre circumstances that surround it. It's been quite some time, if ever, that we've come across something like this. Now, if you haven't already guessed, I'm not talking about a missing hiker in some park. I'm referring to the quadruple homicide of 4 college students that occurred in the small town of Moscow, Idaho, just last November. And despite all the investigative agencies involved, they just aren't able to get the guy. And I'm assuming it was a man who did this. I spent a lot of time discussing and analyzing missing person cases, but rarely have I ever entered the waters of true crime territory on this channel. But with a case like this, I can't help but want to get involved in one form or another. Now, I'm no detective, and I have absolutely no law enforcement background. Most of my experience is from my time with the Forest Service. However, by covering this case, perhaps we can create more awareness and provide another missing piece of that puzzle that could crack the case wide open. And I'm not alone out there. There are countless reporters, journalists, and independent sources looking into this as well. And unfortunately, there's also a lot of misinformation out there, so be cautious where you get your information from. So from time to time, what I'd like to do is begin covering this case until it's solved. And that could very well happen today or years from now, as we've seen in the Delphi murders case. Like I said, this is something quite different from what both you and I are used to discussing on this channel. But in my opinion, it needs to be done. So stay tuned for some new content heading your way in the near future. In the meantime, I hope you're all gearing up for a fine holiday season as we wrap up the year and head into 2023. Be safe out there, and you'll hear from me soon.